How's it going, everybody? Meister Patrick here, and today I'll be making a video about something that I never expected myself to be making a video on, which is showing off my successful S-rank run in Roark's Attack on Titan fan game, Survival Mode. This took me not too long, I don't think. I can actually show all of my recorded footage right here. If I go down into Properties and Details, you can see I have 3.5 hours worth of footage to try to get this one 8.5 minute run done. But, I played it a little bit more outside of this. I didn't actually record every run I did, especially in the beginning, just because I didn't expect to get it right away. So I'd say it's probably close to 4 hours, maybe even as much as 4.5 at the most. But I wouldn't say any more than that. I also didn't play it back to back, as you saw. I had many clips. I'd play it in short little increments, and then I had to stop. But I would play it here and there, across different days, and I tried to get it. I might have been faster if I did it all back to back, or who knows, it might have been slower. It's hard to say. So I don't want to delay. I don't want to wait too long. I hope you guys are excited for this, because I am excited that I'm able to show it off. But I do want to warn that at the end of the run, there are a couple of disclaimers that I want to put out there that I think are important. So keep that in mind. Also, this run was successfully completed on Saturday, April 3rd, 2021, as you can see here. So if you're watching this in the distant future, then there is a chance that my opinions about this game have changed, depending on what I talk about or don't talk about. I don't really know, but I did want to put that into this video as well. The final thing that I wanted to point out is that I am playing version 0.2.0, I believe is what it's called, and that a new version of the game is supposed to be coming out pretty soon. But as you can see, this one's from December 31st, 2018 is when I specifically downloaded it. And I also wanted to go over my personal control layout, as it is not typical. It is very atypical, and I cannot stress that enough. That I do not recommend this layout. That is not what I'm saying by showing it. I'm only showing my personal preference. So for you out there, if you don't like this setup, that's okay. I get it. I'm not saying anyone should use this setup. I'm just making it clear that this was my setup. So just going through it real quick. You can read through there. I think I mainly use the primary. I don't know if I use the secondary ever. It's just you can't delete your mouse inputs. That's why you see I even had a double input there. So that's what that's all about. All right, and with that, I guess we should start the run. So as I go through this, I do kind of want to talk about some of my headspace and strategies and all that, just in case any of you are wondering what you can do to maybe get an S-rank run if you're struggling. I don't know if I'm the best bet with with how to do it, as I only got this once. That's not a consistent thing where I'm like, oh yes, I can get S ranks all day, every day. I cannot. This actually was very, very stressful. And actually just watching this game is very stressful to me. I really felt like that was my biggest trouble with it. But this is important. This I actually learned from watching someone else's video. Is getting those consistently, I think, helps a lot with time. Because the closest I ever got to an S rank run before this one was one where I exclusively managed to take out their knees. Hey, that was a good cut. So at this point, actually, once you got the first one, it gets much easier. I feel like the first Titan is the hardest Titan in the beginning. Once you've gotten past the first Titan, the next couple, I think, are a lot easier. You just wait and you set up for the back hit, and then you try to get it consistently, but then if you fail, then you fail, and there's nothing you can do about that. But otherwise, if you can't get the back of their neck, especially early on, you just want to go for the back of the knees and try to upburst and go for this if you can. And if you miss it, only go for one attempt, I'd say. Otherwise, just set up back here. You just jump, you gas up a little, and go for that back of the neck. And I definitely recommend practicing getting that consistently. That was the closest I ever got to an S rank, was I did exclusively that, and I actually managed to get an S rank in time, but only an A rank in score, just because I was killing Titans so slowly. But yeah, that's the other thing that you want to be able to do consistently, is get those from downtown shots, because those downtown shots are, I'd say, the most effective way of killing Titans in this game, which is, if that's what you're looking for in a game, then this has that. I honestly feel like that's the way to play this game. Getting into a fight with a Titan, where you're like trying to circle around him and go for the knees, is just not the way this game's designed. So if you can't really get that from downtown shot, it's a struggle boss. So you can see here, I'm gonna have a really hard time. I think, yeah, we actually passed a cut back there. For full disclaimer, I had to take a break after the 1 minute mark, just because this game gets me so nervous and my heartbeat gets up and my hands start shaking and I just can't play the game, and I get all sweaty and I can't hold the controls. And so that's what's happening right now. You see me playing very, very, very badly compared to just not very good. Yeah, that's what's happening. Is I am like having a really hard time just focusing, because I'm so stressed out. And even recording this back, I'm a little stressed out, but it's not so bad. It's been a while. So, as I showed you, you can look up what the upload date for this will be, but it won't be the day after I got the S rank. I'll tell you that, because I needed some time to distance myself before I could do this commentary. So you see here, I'm setting up for another downtown shot. These are the most important. It's I hold my Titan lock and then try to get the cursor right in the perfect position. You see here, I didn't even try. I think that's the best case scenario, honestly, is if you can't get those downtown shots. Like, I keep missing these. Just again, I'm very nervous, but I managed to get that one, which, kind of helps my hopes a little bit. So I'll go for this one as well. Just kind of setting up, staying from distance. I think that's a good hook, but nope, I miss it. That was very lucky. That probably would have been the end of my run right there if he'd actually managed to get the grab, but he didn't, and so I take it. I'm not going to complain. If I survive, then so be it. But you see, I got so stressed, right? I was like, okay, that's telling me something. Like, I'm doing so bad. Like, there's no way this will be a good run in the long run. But I do pull myself together at some point. So like right there, go for it, perfect. Getting those feels good. You gotta watch your Titan counter. So you see, I have 2 Titans, and then the distance. It's hard to gauge exactly where they're going to be, but there's so many like amazing runs that I'm not showing because they got ruined by me not watching the Titan counter. And I was like, oh yeah, here I am, just like catching every Titan and not realizing that one had gotten much further along than I realized. And so I was like killing every Titan as they spawned, but there was a second Titan who was like actually close to the gate that I'd forgotten to check. So keep your eye out on that top corner there. Oh, there's just bad orientation. But you see, I just walk away. I think that's honestly the best way to fight Titans in this game, if you're asking me. I mean, could be like in very high level play, like if you're trying to go for records or anything, maybe walking away isn't the best bet in the long run. I don't know. But I'd say if you're just going for an S rank, which is all I cared about, I succeeded in this game by its own metric. You could say, could I do better? Absolutely. If I want to dedicate a lot more time to this, I could. But I'm not. I'm only attempting to succeed at this game by its own metric, which is getting an S rank, which is what I did. So here I am. So you see here, I knew there was 2, right? That's why I looked to the left, even though that Titan had just spawned. Like, no, go for the one that's further ahead, and there it goes. Perfect cut. You want to frame those. You want to keep concentration. Those are your most important cuts, in my opinion. Here, that guy, in that back corner on the left, you have to wait for him to turn, otherwise you just can't get a good angle on him. Which, I didn't get a good angle on him anyway. But that's why I went for the Titan that was closer to me, just because he was in a better position. And so here I am, just turning around, going for another pass. I think this is the way to play the game. I mean, I don't know, people can feel free to disagree in the comments, but for me, personally, this is where I found the most success. I say as I fail miserably. Again, it's mostly, it's a lot of it is like nerves. When I had some really good runs in this game that didn't turn out to be S runs, just because, one thing or another. But this one, I managed to get enough kills, managed to do well. You can see here, I get a second wind here in a bit. Like, that one was good. Again, like, the more space I have, I feel like the better my cuts are. I just have more time to get the cut I'm looking for. Here, do I get this? That'd be a nice cut if I get this. Ooh, no, I didn't think so. Luckily, even though I'd been grabbed once, if you wait long enough, you can actually get a second free grab, which is nice. But at this point, I am panicked. There are 5 Titans on the field, and if I don't start getting some kills, there you go, then I will, this will be the end of me. But I managed to actually pull out a couple of nice plays here at the end, so I'm very proud of myself for that. There you go, another excellent cut. There's 2 guys back to back here, but I don't think I'm lined up for that first one, nor was I lined up for that second one, it turned out. Do I try to fight these guys? Nope. Nope. I found that every time I try to battle it out with a Titan, that does not work out for me. That's how I end up just getting more stressed out than ever. And I had to play this game at 60 frames, which I'll go into. That was one of the disclaimers, but there you go. I had a hard time seeing when I turned the camera, so I don't know if this will look okay for you guys, but when I was trying to play the game, I felt like I had a hard time seeing what was going on. But I don't know, it's an excuse, I guess. There you go, another excellent cut. Here it is, lined it up perfectly, get to the right height. I should have been hugging right some more. I wasn't. The thing is, they turn kind of when you get close to them, and so you kind of have to predict. It's kind of a 50-50 whenever you get close. See, there you go. I guessed the 50-50. I leaned left. And you can kind of get it if they're more leaning one way or another. That's the way they're gonna go. Like, yeah, you can kind of see it from a distance, but when you're in the moment, you're not always. There you go, perfect. There, I leaned left because he was kind of turned to the right, and so that's what you're looking for. It's just a matter of getting that consistently. And I feel like I'm close to the end here. I'm not gonna, as you can see, they're very close to the gate, but I get that cut. Second cut? Nope, not a second cut. This one I know I have to take down, so I actually get into the first fight in a very long time. I managed to take out his legs, go for the back cut, successfully get the lean down cut, which is I think what saved me for this run. I'm looking around, found a Titan finally. I was that's another thing I'm not a big fan of in this game. I mean, I'm not saying there's a better solution. It's just I didn't realize how annoying it would be until I tried to do it. Was trying to find Titans. It's like, oh, like I don't even like that in in Feng Li's game. Which I feel like if I'm comparing this to Feng Li's game I feel like is better about. Well, this game is more accurate to Attack on Titan, the source material. So if you're interested in the source material and playing something that makes you live out that experience, then I think this game's the best way to go. Weirdly enough, the only thing that this does that's less accurate than the source material, I cannot get any cuts at this point. I'm so stressed. I'm like, I've never gotten this far in a long time. But yeah, if you're looking at something that's accurate to source material, this is accurate except for the fact that you have infinite gas and oh, I wanted to show this off. Yeah, I managed to get one of those, which are always wonderful. Do I get another one? Get another one? No, I missed the grab, and he grabs me. But it's been enough time. I'm able to escape. He has no hands, so I go for it. I don't get it, but I do go for it. I go for it again. Oh, I managed to grab it. I think this is where I lose. If only I could have gotten that, but I do not. And he walks close enough, and that's the end right there. Finish. But yeah, this does infinite gas, infinite blades, which Feng Li's game actually has limited gas and blades, but this is accurate everywhere else. I feel like most times anyone approaches a Titan in the show, they're mostly going for the back of the neck like that. They're not trying to duke it out, which I think makes sense. It's just a matter of what you're looking for in a game, though. For me, it's more fun to play the game in a way where I approach a Titan as sort of like this battle dance where I try to get around them, try to avoid their attacks, try to get my own attack in and stuff like that. And so I have a much better time playing Feng Li's game personally, but also another thing I wanted to quickly bring up here is that Roark's game actually is kind of unique in the fact that the survival mode exists, and it's the only way that you have of really fighting Titans in this game. Whereas the official game, Guidon's game, Feng Li's game, any other version of the game that I've personally tried, the Titan killing mode is usually an open area, and then you just have to go in and sort of fight the Titans, and the idea is to kind of wipe them all out, within the zone, generally speaking. Versus here, they just continually spawn. You continually have to fight them, and it's more of a matter of speed and getting them out in time before they touch the other wall, whatever. And for me personally, I found that turns out I like the other way better. I'm not a big fan of the survival timed mechanic. That's I think part of maybe what stressed me out about it. But if you're different and you like the survival aspect of it, you like the fact that it's timed, it's rushed, it's that adrenaline feeling, then this is the version of that game. I don't really know any other versions that are particularly popular, at least, that do that time aspect where they are trying to get somewhere and you're trying to stop them and you're just goes and goes and goes. Feng Li's does have a continuous version, like an unending version, but that just goes until you die. It's not, the Titans can't win, quote unquote, unless they kill you, of course. But there's not like this. This is more of like a two-pronged approach, and either the Titans kill you, or if you ignore them, then they'll eventually get to their destination. Whereas in Feng Li's survival mode, they don't have a destination. You can ignore the Titans and not touch them ever, and you can keep going forever time-wise. It's just a different approach, and I never played the survival in Feng Li's game because I'm just not that kind of guy. For me, I think it's fun to be able to approach a Titan and see what I'm gonna do, and then figure it out and fight him, and then move on to the next Titan. But that's a me thing, and yeah, I think it's another big benefit for this game is that it has this mode this way. Although if someone was asking me how I would like to play, I would say the other way. But it's just, it depends on what you're looking for. I feel like this game does this very well, and I think it deserves the praise for that. But there's also the update coming out. I have no clue what that's all going to add. I haven't been following it at all. But when it comes out, I'll try to show it off. This video was dedicated to the final release of the Attack on Titan manga chapter, the last chapter. I personally have only read up through chapter 112, and I think there's 136 total or something like that. And this is also coming out the week after the final chapter went up, but I was too busy last week to do anything about it, so yeah, I couldn't. But now it's disclaimer time. So before I get into that, you've seen the whole video. At this point, ask if you want to like or dislike or leave a comment, tell me what you think. I think I've mentioned commenting a couple times, but I don't do too much Attack on Titan stuff, so I wouldn't really ask to if you want to subscribe for more Attack on Titan. I don't do it that often, honestly. You're better off just waiting and looking it up every couple months to see if I've posted anything, but that's not important. It is disclaimer time. Okay, so 2 disclaimers. The first one is very important for anyone looking to get their own S rank run. Master Mostfa, which is one of our regular commenters, told me about this, and I'm glad he did, because this would have been impossible otherwise, and it is the main reason why, if you watch my if you watch my training video, which I posted my first time ever playing, not my first time ever, but almost my first time ever playing it, I played through the training and had a very hard time. And the reason is this simple reason. So I show you, right click on the background of your desktop if you're on a PC. I don't know what to do if you're on a Mac. I'm sorry. But if you're on a PC, you can right click on your desktop background, go here to display settings, or you can click D on your keyboard. It's a little shortcut. And then you see I have 2 monitors, one of them's off. So you look at your first monitor here, and you scroll down to where it says advanced display settings. I don't know if it'll be under multiple displays if you only have one, but there should be an advanced display settings somewhere right here at the bottom, above Sleep Better, that's for sure. And then make sure you have the correct monitor selected. So I have 2, so the one that I'm currently on is this one, the VG. And as you can see, my refresh rate is 144. So you want to click on this display adapter properties for display 1, and then click on monitor, and then where it says screen refresh rate. For anyone out there who's on any monitor, you want to click down. And generally speaking, you want this as high as possible. The higher the refresh rate, the smoother your computer will look, and that is the best case scenario in most cases. But when playing Unity games, mostly Unity games, outside of a web browser, you want this actually set to 60. Just because of the way Unity works, it sort of, I guess, assumes that your monitor has a refresh rate of 60, and you click apply. But if I do that, it'll screw up my recording, so I'm going to click cancel instead. But at this point, you click apply, and then it asks you if you want to keep changes, and you say yes. And then you start Roark's Attack on Titan game, because what it does is it actually affects the duration that hitboxes are active, because I guess, assumedly, the hitbox active time is based on frame count instead of actual passing time. So let's say that the hitbox for the counterattack on the Titan's grab is 3 frames, just throwing out a number. Let's say it's 2 frames. 2 frames makes this easier, I guess. So if the hitbox is 2 frames at 60 frames per second, that is a 30th of a second that you have to do your attack. But if you had it set to 120, then that would be a 60th of a second. So it actually cuts your time in half. And I was playing at 144, so I had less than half the amount of time to do counterattacks when I was playing the training video that I did. So absolutely highly recommend. You could go lower than 60, like 50, and give yourself the advantage of more frames. The only problem is that for me personally, I could not tell what was happening because you have to move your mouse around and all that. I couldn't see the screen. I had a hard time seeing the screen at 60. So at 50, I tried and I just couldn't do it. It was too much for me. So 60 was that sweet spot it's worth designed for. Don't cheat the system, just play it at 60. So PSA. All right. That's the first disclaimer. Disclaimer number 1. Disclaimer number 2. Disclaimer number 2 is that I had to alter my experience with the game in order to get this S rank a little bit. And it's something that I'm okay with personally, because otherwise, honestly, I wasn't enjoying my experience with this game. It was really stressing me out and making my hands twitch. I just couldn't for the life of me do this. So the thing that I did, as you can see, I have Razer Synapse here. I have a Razer Black Widow Chroma V2 keyboard. So if I open this up, you should be able to see here that Razer Black Widow Chroma V2. What I did in order to get this, and if you don't agree with this, that's fine. You don't have to do this for yourself. But for me, it was absolutely necessary. I clicked here on keyboard space. You go down to keyboard function instead of the default space. Keyboard function, I set it to rebind the key to space, and I enabled turbo and set this all the way up. This way, whenever I hold down the space bar, it will automatically rapidly press space for me. Now, you might be saying, why did you do this? This sounds like cheating. Can't you just rapidly tap the space bar yourself instead of having the computer rapidly tap it for you? Or just time your attacks better? Well, so here's the thing. There's a couple different things. Also, another thing I want to mention, I guess, is Master Mostfa. The reason I even thought about doing this was from a different video I saw where the guy was showing off how to get the C cut on a Titan, which was really cool. I never managed to pull it off, but I noticed that's when I learned that you could actually kill them when they were leaned forward like that. And I noticed he was like spamming the spacebar. I don't know if he had it set to turbo himself or what, but I actually went frame by frame and saw that he was in fact spamming the spacebar. He did not time it out. And so I was like, oh, this guy doesn't time it out. Why the heck should I time it out? I save this out and just show you real quick, actually. I'm going to pull up this notepad here. I'm just going to hold the space bar, and you see it does that. So the point of this is Master Mostfa showed me there's a mod that exists where you could hold it down and release to get the hit instead of double tapping it. The only problem with that is that I didn't want to mod the game, first of all. It's just, I don't know, I've never modded a game. That's not something I'm into. But second of all, even if I did, I felt like I don't know if I would know the, like, how short of a time I could hold it. Like, what was the minimum time for holding it before I released? And so I didn't want to figure out a whole new timing, because at that point I'd actually been practicing for a while when he sent that to me. And the way I'd been practicing it is I basically had timed out how close I needed to be to the Titan before I double tapped the spacebar in order to prime and attack. And so I basically just treated it that way. And so the way this works actually is that by making it so I hold down and it rapid taps for me, the problem I was running into is my hands were shaking ridiculously and my palms were sweaty, mom spaghetti. I could not keep my hands where they needed to be on the keyboard, and I couldn't consistently press the spacebar just because of my shaking hands. So a physical limitation led me to not be able to play this game in the way that I had learned to play the game, which was just wait and then rapid tap spacebar. You can also, if you're getting those downtown shots, you have way more time. You can press space, wait a long time, and then press space again once you get there. But when you're going for the back of the legs like that, you just want to hit it. You don't have much time. You're trying to get minimum distance. You want to get double hooks in, full gas, double hit that space, and try to get the minimum attack time that you can. So that's why I had a rapid press space. So if you feel like this was cheating because you feel like, oh, I could just hold down the space bar and I'd auto get every hit, that's not true. As you saw in the video, I missed a lot of hits. This is not an instant win button. In fact, you still have to time it, which might surprise some of you, but turns out the way this game's designed is if you prime the attack, when you press the spacebar again to swing the attack, as long as you're within range, as long as you're a certain distance away from the Titan, the character will swing the blade. So if I started holding down the spacebar too early, then the swing would whiff. It would go too early. If I started holding it too late, then I'd run into the Titan and lose my momentum, and I wouldn't get the slice off at the right time to get the kill. So I still had to time my spaces. I didn't, and you can just, I don't know, I didn't hold the spacebar from a long distance and just say, GG, easy win. I actually did try to time my spaces so that they would land, because basically when you hold it down, it just presses space twice. When you're, it presses space when you're within range and he swings. And so you have to start holding it at the right time so that the prime and the swing comes out at the time that the neck is in front of you and you get the kill, which is why I was missed so many hits. I mean, you saw, obviously this wasn't an instant win move. I think, we all saw the video. I'm not playing like a god or anything. I got the S rank, but like barely. I scraped that thing out. So, I don't feel like this was cheating too aggressively. I felt like this was more of a handicap. And if anyone knows me, I would say personally, but that's probably not the right word. If anyone has seen other videos I do on the channel, I disable mashing in games always. This isn't like special to this game. I don't believe in mashing in a video game. I actually played the Marvel Spider-Man for the PlayStation 4, and I turned off the mashing so that I just held the button instead of having to rapid click it, because I don't believe in. I hate any game that makes you rapidly click something. This game doesn't make you rapidly click the spacebar. But I think it is the most effective strategy, as seen in, I even, the reason I thought about this strategy is from watching someone else play the game who was clearly much better at it than I was. They're getting these C cuts off, and I was like, dang, this guy's good. I want to play like him. And so I turned this on because that's how he was playing. He was just, I could see him clearly. I saw him prime and unprime his attack like 3 times before it hit the back of the neck when they were down on the ground like that. And so I was like, why don't I just do that? This is an instant win. And then I started playing with it, and I was like, oh, it's not an instant win, actually. It doesn't work all the time, which the way he showed it off, I thought it might, but but it doesn't work like that. So if anyone out there is interested, you don't necessarily, there's a chance you don't have a keyboard that you can mod like this. And so then you can, this doesn't help you. But if it does, this is something I wish was honestly just in the game. I wish I didn't have to do it this way. I even tried. If you're wondering, why don't I just make it automatically press the spacebar twice instead of click it rapidly, because that's what I'm trying to do. That's all I'm trying to do is I just want to double tap it every time I tap it. And I could not for the life of me get that to work. I tried fiddling with it so much to just get 1 click equals 2 clicks. But I couldn't make it work. I don't know what it is at all. Just no matter what I tried, I could not get that to work for the life of me. So I promise you, I tried that method. And but if that were in the game, if there was only like a 1-click attacks, then I would not feel the need to do this. I would not modify it so that it rapidly clicks. Also, I want to say that I feel like I get why they have the double tap in the game. I think it's to help prevent people from just spamming the attack button, which is exactly what I'm doing, funnily enough. But I think it would have been more effective if he just added like a cooldown on the attack. Basically, you press the attack button and then you have to wait like a full second or something before you can press it again. I personally would have preferred that just because, like I said, I don't like spamming the button. I just don't want to. And I feel like this double tap method of like tap once, tap twice, I feel like it just, I don't know, spamming feels like the best method. That's just the way that it feels like it's designed, which I feel like is counter to the design purpose, but I could be wrong about that. So anyway, just a little PSA for that. I get why it's there, I think, at least, but, you know, I'm just saying for other people, I'd rather, I don't know, personal thing. I'd rather just be a single click with a cooldown or whatever, something like that. The only reason I felt the need to do this is because of the 2-tap method and because I didn't want to hold it because I'd already gotten used to the timing of rapid tapping it whenever I got within range of the Titan, and I just didn't want to start over because I just want to get this video out. I wanted to get it out in time for the ending of Attack on Titan Season 4 Part 1, but I didn't get that, and then I wanted to get it out for the end of the manga, final chapter of the manga, and then obviously I missed that, and here we are a week later, even though I actually did finish it in time for that, but I just couldn't, I was so stressed out from the stupid thing trying to get it out in time that I wasn't able to get this actual recording done. So here we are now. This is my video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I didn't ruin it for you here at the end, but I also hope I'm not dragging on too long. That's always a possibility. If at this point you realize that you like listening to me speak, and maybe there's more to me than Attack on Titan, then I recommend checking out a different video on the channel. You know, we post all kinds of stuff here. I don't relegate myself just to Attack on Titan, even though they do the best on this channel, because I want to enjoy my experience with uploading to YouTube and not necessarily just get views. So if you like the sound of that, if you like me, if you like my crafty, cheaty ways, then, you know, I would love if you came back for something else. And if not, and this is the last I see you until my next Attack on Titan video, then that's cool. I understand. Big wide internet out there, lots of people to listen to. You don't have to listen to me. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope to see you again, as I said. So until that time, or if it never comes, either way, zoink out.